Hello out there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're watching this podcast from. My name is Roland Jacob, and I want to talk to us briefly and powerfully about something I have been convicted to share with us this time. Permit me to start this podcast or this discussion from the scriptures. I want us to, reflect on the book of Genesis chapter 1, the 3 verses of Genesis chapter 1, Genesis 1, 2, and 3. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and the Spirit of God was hovering upon the surface of the deep. And God said, "Let there be light." That is our point of emphasis. And God said, "Let there be light." In this part of the world, especially in Nigeria, where our economy is breaking down, our insecurity is nothing to talk about. We have different kind of challenges up and down. The times challenging to talk about. The book of Genesis is here to address your situation. God is the beginning of all things. He is the author of all things. Before the beginning began, before time came into existence, God, who is the supreme ultimate being, has been in existence. He had existed in himself. And in Genesis chapter 1 and in verse 1, God created the heavens and the earth. The things that are, the things that the eyes can see and the things that the eyes cannot see, God created them and He brought them into being. And in verse 2, even though it was God who is the creator, the ultimate supreme being, the author, the originator of all things, the very thing He created, the heavens and the earth, the scriptures was very clear that it was without form and void. It then means that the earth was without form, it was without shape, it was without a proper description. The only name you can give it is its emptiness and its voidness, its formlessness. And even in that form of, in that state of formlessness, in that state of emptiness, He said the Spirit of God was there, and then the earth was filled with waters, and then the Spirit of God was hovering over it. In the darkness, in the waters, the Spirit of God was still there. That's what I want you to pick from this, this podcast, this time. The times are challenging. You may be going through insecurity, you may be going through economic hardship, but then that is your darkness, that is, your state of formlessness. But then what I want you to take, or what I want you to pick from, or to be encouraged about, is that God is there with you. Just like He was there in Genesis chapter 1 and in verse 2, in that state of homelessness, in that state of chaos, shapelessness, the Spirit of God was there. And then hallelujah, in verse 3 He said, and God said, "Let there be light." And God restored light. God brought form to formlessness. He brought order to disorderliness. He brought shape to shapelessness. And I believe God will also do that with you. If He was able to do it in Genesis, He can do it with you. If He was able to do it with the children of Israel, even after staying for 400 years in the hands of their captors, perpetually living a life without hope, a life of slavery, a life without a future, and God still remembering them in Exodus chapter 3, God will still remember you. And then you will be like them that dream dreams. Hallelujah. Like the psalmist will see. And then you will be like them that dream dreams, because God will surely one day, He will look at you and then He will say, "Let there be light." And then light will come, form will come, shape will come, order will come in your life. As you keep following this podcast, I will want you to share, comment, and subscribe, as many more other encouragement will be coming your way. Thank you, and God bless you.
The world was formless, lost in there.